G'day guys, we're back here on our Moffat Beach project and things are really exciting. We're literally 4 or 5 days away from starting to stand our CLT panels. So I want to give you a quick run through. There's been so much work on this site to get it to this point. And one of the things I want to talk to you about today is the tie down for the panels. So at this stage, we're definitely the first builder in Queensland to do a residential house out of full CLT, so cross laminated timber construction. We've worked in really closely with XLAM over the last couple of years. And I think something I want to put out there that a lot of people probably don't understand is this is a brand new product to the residential housing market or construction. It's been taken up quite a lot with commercial and government type building, high rise and those types of things, but not so much on houses, and there's actually no building code for it yet. So it's been very challenging over the last few years. We've worked in very closely with the architect on this one and the guys at HR Design up here on the Sunshine Coast to come up with all the fixings and the hold down, and the boys have been very busy over the last week. It's I've never ever in my 22 years in the industry done so much tie down on one building, especially a residential building. So you'll see here the bit of a setup that we've been doing. So we've actually got a 26mm shadow line around the bottom of all of our panels. So we got this custom stainless steel flashing folded up, which has been really tricky. So on the outside, it's created the shadow line. On the inside of the building, then it goes out and it creates our ant capping. We also doubled up, we actually put termite proofing underneath that ant capping. So being a full timber pine building, we've gone absolutely over the top with all of our termite proofing. On the internal walls here, the boys have done a cracking job. So they've actually had to put 2 stainless steel flashings together to create a shadow line on both sides of the internal panels. So been a huge amount of work, a lot of detail, a lot of scribing, a lot of cutting, and then a crazy amount of these brackets. So all of our fixings on this job have come from Melbourne, New Zealand, all over Europe. Because of the shortage in the industry at the moment, they've all had to come from all over the place. And so we got all these stainless steel brackets, and it's 2 brackets 75mm apart at 300mm centers. So we've got an N12 Booker rod, drilled 175mm into the concrete slab, which has been an absolute mission in itself. We had to get a core driller on here. We had to get special high-speed diamond 14mm bits because obviously being so many brackets, we kept hitting a lot of Rio in the concrete. So that's been a mission to get them in. I don't know the exact numbers, but there's literally hundreds of holes been drilled into the slab. We've then cut the rod, we've Ken-set it in, and then bolted all these brackets down. And then each bracket has 12 screws that are going to fix to the face of the CLT panel. So huge amount of work in this site, in this slab, and now getting all these ant caps, these flashings, and now these brackets in place before we even get a panel on site. So the whole team has done an incredible job. It's a learning curve for everyone on this project. Everyone's putting in a huge effort. Everyone's learning what to do. Lots of communication with the architect, the engineer, and just on a daily basis talking through best outcomes for things. There's been lots of changes, like being the first time that we're doing this, with the design, the step downs in the slab, obviously the finish. Like obviously we don't want to see these brackets on the insides of the panels, so on the outside walls they've all been placed on the outside. Internally we've had to make sure all the brackets are in where joinery will hide them, in where tiling will hide them. So huge amount of effort and thought and thinking has been going into making sure that everything's in the right locations. And then we've had some challenges along the way too. So couple of scenarios, the brackets that come for the panels wouldn't work. So we've had to custom fabricate our own brackets, which has been a lot of liaising with the engineer to make sure we get the right strength and the right tie down and all those types of things. So we're nearly there. We're, like I said, we're about 4 days away. Next Tuesday, all the CLT panels start showing up, all the laminated beams. We get our crane on site and we'll get stuck into installing the first CLT residential home in Queensland. I can't wait to show you.